Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, this is Farmer Live, and in today's video we are going at cattle. We are big days at working at cattle. Some of the things we will be doing today includes running a batch of calves down the road, which is probably the title and thumbnail of the video, and then redistributing them into 3 batches. We also have to bring back some of the bullocks that were on grass. We'll be showing you them, we'll be weighing them, and hopefully as well getting another batch of bulls in, but that depends on how well everything else goes, because we have to get shed cleaned out as well. But anyways, first things first, we got to get the yard set up to run these batch of calves home. We'll be putting up the drone and then we'll be redistributing them. And also today's video is sponsored by Herdwatch for all your farm recording needs. It makes our lives easier when working with cattle and doing everything with the dusting, the weighing, and a whole lot of other things. If you want to check it out, there'll be links in the description down below, but you get to see more of what we use Herdwatch for later on in the video. But anyways, I gotta get this tractor off the avenue and we gotta go show up the yard. Come on, bolt it. Now. Hey biggies. Hey biggies. Which one is Bertha?
Big one.
That's Big Bertha. She keeps escaping. You keep escaping, don't you, Big Bertha? Don't you? Don't you? So we're just ready to start moving them. Drone is up so you get to see it, and we have everywhere blocked up, or we're all standing out, so we could do it. One more person, we have to get one of us ahead of them to block the road below so we can get them turned in and into the yard. We'll see how this goes. Should have no bother getting them out because there's not a lot of grass where they are, and they just need to get moved and rebatched and redistributed before for their final grazing before they go in. Anyways, we'll cut to the drone footage and we'll see how this goes. Good job, Liv. Good job. That is all the calves in. Woo. A little bit out of breath, but this hand where the bulls have walked in. So
you got it straightened out.
We did eventually. Forgot to bring the camera, but we had to do a light bit of fencing down the bottoms where bulls had broken the wires. But we have it fixed, don't we, Liv?
Yeah.
And now Uncle Ian and Father Phil have the calves sorted, ready to go out, so we're ready to put them out. So it's grand job. When we're loading some, we'll see what kind of weights. We're not going to record them or anything. We'll record when we're putting them in, but just get an idea of how they're doing. All going okay, Liv?
Yeah.
How was the fencing?
Not too bad actually.
No. Liv is our livestock manager, so she's the farm manager. Isn't that right, Liv?
Something like that.
Something like that. There are a lot of Jersey boys. Now, he escaped into these batch while we were moving them across the field for in. He should be with the batch of, as we call them, the survivors. Hence he is, he's not the best one we have.
They're doing very well.
But he shouldn't be with these, but they said they'd let him out anyways. So there's the difference now. Pedigree Jersey and Jersey Cross with a high bit of Jersey in them.
Come on.
Just goes to show hybrid vigour what it can do for an animal. There's actually a hedge here now. Remember when there was nothing there and they could get into the reed bed? That used to be a nightmare. But I'd probably want to get the hedge cutter at it. Make a nice hedge out of it. Not let it go wild like that hedge. But then that hedge is providing a habitat for the birds and the wildlife.
Come on.
So no big panic on them. Wrong side, lads, wrong side. Shh. You have to go back. Come on, go back. Come on. Shh. Excuse me. Yeah. So their rotation now for the rest of the winter before they go in is they're on the Farfield bottoms now. I'll have to walk out that far. Will you get the handle up there? So anyways, I'll go check the gate. So their rotation now is this field, the Farfield bottoms as we call it. Julia's bottoms, which is the next field over, which there's quite a bit of ground in, and then they have the stony field, and the stony field is where we cut silage. We cut hay off and we cut silage off it. So altogether they have 25 acres to graze, 41 calves. So that should keep them out for quite some time. Apart from there being too many docks, there is a nice little cut of grass on it, so there is. But yeah, the docks is a big issue here. Biggest problem with the bottoms, as it's in its name, it's wet, and to get them sprayed at the right time, usually ground conditions aren't good enough, and that's the big issue. But maybe next year, it all depends on what the spring comes like. But the one thing for bottoms, there is no rushes. That's good, because at one time these were all rushes. The gate is shut. Yeah, gate is chained, so they're fine. Hopefully we'll be able to keep them out up until November, provided we don't get cold wet weather, because cold wet weather is the hardest weather on cattle. We'll go get the rest of these calves out. So we're just backed in ready now to load up the next scope. We'll have 30, I think, so we're hoping 30 will fit into the trailer. Our trailer, some people ask, what is it? It's a 24-foot Lynch trailer we bought at the ploughing championships a long time ago. I suppose Featherfield's on the phone, but we'll see how heavy the first guy is on the scales. How heavy are you, boss? 160 kilos. So we're not going to record the weights because we'll record them when we put them in. He's not the biggest and he's not the smallest. I think the average weight last year in either the middle or end of November was 167. So they're thereabouts. We have bigger, you can see there's bigger lads there. That's a huge big Frisian. Another big Frisian there as well. But they're all looking fierce well. So these lads loaded up.
bullocks.
Get him! One! Up! You should have another few in it. It's grand. So, got into a bit of a delay there. Sorry for the camera wobbling. It just butted up there. But come across a minor incident accident on the road. It held me up. I got caught. Very narrow stretch of road, and look, you could go on about it. It's where the council tarred around trees. Instead of taking the trees and the stumps out of it, the road's wide, and then they tarred in to get around the tree to tar back out again. And unfortunately, a woman met a van and she kept in too tight and she clipped the tree and just jammed herself in the middle of the road. It's too narrow and long a stretch to start reversing, so I got caught. I went up and I helped them direct the traffic and whatnot. Very delayed now. Just lost a good hour or more to that, but sure, what can you do? These things happen. We get back to it and get these calves, and I'll get the other calves up and then go get the bullocks and get that sorted. Keep being on. So here we are. As you can see, lots of grass. It is gone yellow of itself. What feeding is going to be in it, I don't know, but look, we get that off anyways. Now lads, they're looking fierce well. So there.
They're not the top what you can.
No, and they're lovely sheen in their coat, like they're not brown in the coat. I'll get back to the yard and get the next load loaded and get them done, and I'll explain what we're doing with them, because we're going to bring the last load of calves that's in the yard up to where the bullocks are, so that we can bring home a load of bullocks that won't be finished off grass, that we're going to give a bit of feeding in the shed to finish, but there'll be bullocks left up there with them that they'll be going to the factory off grass Wednesday. So yeah, it's a bit complicated, but it's it. It's a bit wet. I suppose it's clear.
I'll give it a minute.
Yeah. The only thing is though, we're travelling that direction, and that direction is a bit darker than here.
Yeah, but the shower would come this way, so we'll be gone. We'll be travelling where the shower would come.
One.
Come on.
200. Not too bad. Off you go. Away the camera. That's another load ready for off. So we are here, and it is still raining, which is fun. Also nearly had a car trying to undertake me while I was trying to swing out to swing in. Also fun. But anyways, we have to get these bullocks in and separate them, and then we can let the calves out and bring our load of bullocks home. Well, Father Phil called them in, but what we're doing now is with the bullocks. So we have 31 bullocks here. You may have seen them before. We were feeding them to try and finish them off grass. We have the half of them, maybe a few more, ready to kill. But the problem we have, the weather's gone bad, and when the weather gets cold and wet like it is at the minute, cattle tend to start failing outside. Leave the half of them here for going to the factory. The other half we bring home with the intention of finishing them around the 30-day mark. We'd love to finish them all off grass, but just the way the weather's gone, grass is starting to tighten up, it loses its power, and we're afraid they'll start to go backwards if we left them out for another week or two to try and get another bit on them, so that's why. But we'll have a bit of a job now to get these lads in, so we'll have to get them around the back of the trailer and into that they have a shed there. So the troughs are out there and they know coming in here is different. But anyways, we'll away the camera, we get these. So
I need your full attention now.
we have them in. One wouldn't come in, but luckily he's one we want for the factory, so
Over there.
you go mark them, or what are you doing?
And let them out. We want him to mark them. He's the house that's going to go to the factory.
Are you any drier?
You really want to do a quick answer now, Stephen?
So that's them.
Doing that yet?
That's them separated now. We probably could kill more. Just went through them, but we'll go feed these lads we've let back out. They'll be going on Wednesday to the factory. We have lads there I'd be happy to send, but all we can get away is a load, so they'll go into the shed. And we'll put, I done the maths on it, between 70 and 90. That's kind of where we're at with the cost for feeding them for 30 days on the finishing ration. So it's not that big of an expense, but once if it brings them up a fat score, it's not going to do anything for the grade, not at this stage. Frisian bullocks always tend to grade bad. If it brings them up on a fat score and maybe adds in 30 days, if we got 30 kilos on them, that'd be great. If I got 20, I'd be happy enough. The price of beef is decent at the minute. It is decent, so we can't be giving out too much. But anyways, we get these lads fed, then we get the calves out of the trailer, and we will get the other lads loaded up. But anyways, if them lads don't move on my way, I cannot make that gap. It's too mucky. Also, there's the maize. There's the corn on the cob. There's the maize we're growing at the minute. That's what it looks like. Yeah, not too long now and we'll be cutting. But we get these guys fed.
I want to show you what I want you to do, and then you know what to do. Just give her a... Whoa!
Yeah, it's better.
Whoa!
We're back on home.
One,
Come on!
up,
Come on!
up, up,
Come on, up! So, still raining, turned into a miserable bit of a day altogether. The 16 we have here. So we're going to weigh these now, we'll leave them for a week, then dose them to let any fluke that's in them hatch, and then kill them, because some of the dosing stuff doesn't kill the eggs, and you still end up with a worm burden. We'll get them weighed, we'll see how they've done for the summer. Our herd watch comes into play. We'll have the average daily weigh in, have all the history. Just makes life just that little bit easier. Liv's going to work the phone and screen record it. We'll pop in the weights along with the time-lapse footage of some of them, and we will go through a bit more at the end on how they have done, and we'll get them into the shed out of the rain.
And also with the rain as well.
Yeah, so we get to it. Ready, Liv?
500 kilos, 34.66.
Was it 500? Come on.
No, it's 500 kilos.
962. $475. No, not heavy enough.
They were long like that.
1845. 470. No, not very good, no. Them lads in the shed now. Disappointing.
No, they're alright. They're there.
Disappointing. Disappointed with the weights. Heaviest was 565, which is perfect. Can't complain about. The lightest was way light. Going back for 440. Average weight about 480. Yeah, the other lads are better.
Probably 150 kilos is the difference.
But them lads just
That was always
thought they would have been heavier. It's going to take 60, 90 days. It'll be the 1st of December before. We'll have some for the shop. There is some there fit to go, the heavier ones. They'll go for the farm shop. As we're finished killing bulls now, we're moving on to these bullocks until we have bulls ready to go again. So these will keep us going. This is our silage, and you can see some of the whole crop there. Our second cut silage, that silage you see before us, tested 74% DMD, which is amazing for what it was. Cut fresh and
73.98.
73.98, 74.
70.
Yeah, so it tested amazingly well for what it was. Just, I wouldn't have called it the best grass. It was cut fresh, it tested fierce well. And the whole crop tested
It was 28% starch.
28% starch, which is very high. A lot of that has to do with how ripe the wheat was when we cut it, but it's very high, and we're very happy with that. Then we'll wait that for a while. We'll wind them up onto the finishing ration. So we'll be putting them on that, and as I said, 60 to 90 days, and we'll kill a few over to keep the farm shop going. And just on the farm shop, if you are ever passing through Keena, we are now supplying Max Shacks, which is our local restaurant, with our beef, minced and diced beef. So if you're ever passing by Keena and you're looking to try our beef, head into Max Shack. Last time I was in there, I had the beef stew, and oh, it was just melting your mouth. You could cut the beef with a spoon. It just very, very good. That's it. There's not much more else to say. Big thanks to Herdwatch for sponsoring today's video. As you've seen, it makes our life that little bit easier. We can record everything on the phone, and it's there, and we have it. We can look at our batches. There's so much stuff Herdwatch does. If you're interested, you want to find out more, there'll be links in the description down below. But that is it from us for today's video. I know we said we'd try and get the bulls in, but just with the hold up we had today, that's not going to happen today. So the next video I do on the cattle will be the bulls coming in, and we'll weigh them and see what they've done for the summer. I think they'll actually do better than the bulls that we put in, because they've done a serious thrive. Yeah, they've done a serious thrive on the grass at home. But anyways, we'll leave it at that for today's video. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That is it from us. Good luck.